Happy Wine Wednesday!
Canadian wine lovers, Carl's Wine Club members, everybody across the country, from Nova Scotia to Vancouver Island, it's Wine Wednesday.
It
It,
is.
it is. It's time to sit back, pop a glass of Canadian wine, relax, have fun. We have a ton of good stuff for you today.
There are five wines in front of me here. There's another five over there. Lots of glasses with like labels. And I gotta say something I'm really excited about. You guys know how I like Sauvignon Blanc.
Mhm,
There is a piquette here made from Sauvignon Blanc skins. I have only ever had in my life maybe two piquettes.
mhm.
So that's kind of fun. And there is also a wine here that was number 6 in our Cab Franc marathon.
A year and a half ago,
Out of, I want to say, 60 Cab Francs from across Canada.
65 Cap from across Canada. That was number 6. And that was a
So,
big surprise because we
yes,
didn't know.
we had no
So,
idea about this company.
so
So it's called Maenad
yeah, so
Wine.
today we're going to host Yvonne Irvine. She is the vigneron behind Maenad. She's part of the collab group. And I mean, this is the month continue. Our collab festival continue. And we're going to taste 5 wine from Yvonne, from Petnat, from Piquet, from Viognier, Skin Contact Chardonnay, and the Rockstar Cab Franc. So we're gonna go through all Niagara, and we're gonna chat with Yvonne very shortly. But other than that, how's it going?
It's good. I was gonna say we had a member the other day just say, "Hey, this whole thing was still the case all month of July. It's like Christmas in July."
That's it.
Last time we did something like this was at Christmas, and the difference is that the shipping is much easier this time of year
You're telling me.
than it was over
We
this
have
past winter.
someone, I think now he's at 36 bottles. So
There's a few people like that. So yeah,
that
it's
is
a
pretty
interesting
cool.
thing, and it's a lot of fun. So basically, every few days we feature a different winemaker, and these are all small batch winemakers who have no real other reason to do this than the fact that they love wine.
That's it.
They're extremely devoted to quality, and they want to create something that really speaks to like terroir and something they're passionate about.
We got to thanks Jeff Moot and Mark Pister and Fogelar and Divergence to take the lead and for the founded collab group, and also to Maenads Winery to host the group at their winery for now like 3 or 4 years. But this is such an incredible project, bringing together some small passionate vignerons. And today we're going to have Yvonne with us, and I can't wait to taste these wines and to score them with you, and to add that to our form, to the order form. And we also have to add Mio as well, right? I think it's already on. Yeah, Semper is already on.
But we're gonna send a note about it tomorrow, and then we'll send a note to
It's
Maenad.
one of my top value wine of the year. Yep, Liebling Sauvignon Blanc. Darn yes. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. So
Yes, so I just want to say hi to Jeff and Stacy, and
Average wine
I was
enthusiast.
to say that both you guys are heading to the Okanagan soon, and we can't wait to see you guys. So Jeff and Stacy for this weekend. Which, by the way, if you're local to the Okanagan, this Friday we're doing a tour at Hillside, and
Friday night touring in the vineyard with Kathy Malone. Friday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're invited. And next Wednesday, Wine Wednesday, will be happening live from a vineyard in the central Okanagan. We're gonna
Nostalgia.
at Nostalgia. They got live music there for after the live. They've got food. They've got wine. You can
Well, I
taste
think
the
we're
wines
forgetting
we're talking
about
about.
we're forgetting about Saturday, no?
And then all day Saturday.
All day Saturday.
And okay, casually Sunday all day too. We're going to be touring with members. So there's a lot of fun stuff coming up. And then Mike is doing the same kind of weekend with us, but at the end of September.
That's it. That's it.
And we just sent an email. We are adding on
A day of golf and wine touring. Golf and wine. I mean, is there a better day?
And if you don't golf, you come with me. You come with me, and we will take you brunch and whining.
Brunch and morning sounds like a good Sunday to me. But yeah, in the meantime, I tasted some crazy, crazy stuff from Prince Edward County this week, and I'm not done tasting these incredible wine, but I tasted a 95 points, 2017 Foxcroft Vineyard, made at Trail Estate.
Oh,
95 points. Yep, 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 yep. Where is this guy? Yeah, the score just disappeared, but yeah, 95 here. Trail.
that happens like what, like a few times,
But I don't have more than 2 or 3 a year
a
at
couple
that.
times a year.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
this 94, another Trail Chardonnay. This one is from 2023, vintage. Yep, some crazy stuff arrived from, and I'm just about to taste the 2017 North and South. 10 cases each produced. 10 cases. Yeah, I'm not joking. 10 cases of each. Uh,
Experiment
yeah,
so they can see like what's the north and the south vineyard like on their own, and it's pretty interesting, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to dig into that tonight after we speak with Yvonne Irvine from
Maenad.
Maenads.
And
So,
she's in the green room, so I feel like we should bring her
absolutely.
in a really a great spot in her backyard. So just she's bringing all the vibes of the chill backyard. Hello, Yvonne. So nice to meet you.
Hi, so great to taste with you tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
and you know what? There's not going to be any internet problem because we're wired to the computer. So we're in the office. Okay, I sacrifice my beautiful view to make sure that there's no connection fuck up. So we're good, Yvonne. We're good, okay?
So,
Perfect.
hey, what did you just crack open?
I just popped the so because this is your favorite varietal. So Mira loves Sauvignon Blanc. So we'll start just for I mean my throat is a little dry. I feel like I'll cough, so I need something, right? So,
Yeah, it's a good little refresher.
yes, exactly, right? So this is the Piquet Sauvignon Blanc. Oh.
So Piquette is cool because I got introduced to it by Ron Hammersley at Black Market in Caledon, BC,
Hmm.
who made a Piquette a few years ago for the first time. It's made from like the grape skins after you make wine, right, Yvonne?
Yeah, so
Oh my
immediately after
God.
pressing the grapes for juice or for wine, I take the skins and I rehydrate them with water and a little bit of sugar to make sure I get to the alcohol percentage that I want, which is only like 5.5%. And then I do punch downs and wild ferments for days until it's done. And what's really interesting to me, anyways, is like, first of all, I don't describe this as a wine. I would say it's a
No,
wine
but so
beverage.
bad, Yvonne.
And it smells like Sauvignon Blanc too.
I was just like
Yes.
floored by the nose. Oh my god.
Okay, now time out, you two. Time out, you two. Okay, we're skipping too many steps here. Okay, whoa, hold on, hold on. Canadian wine lovers, we're hosting Yvonne Irvine. Are we saying Irvine or Irvin? How do you pronounce your last name, Yvonne?
I generally say Irvin. I don't know what's
Irvin, there you
the,
go.
yeah.
Perfect. At Maenad. There you
Yes.
go. I can both back to back. Good. There you go. Yvonne, it's great to have you on. I am so thrilled because I connected with your wine for the first time 2 years ago when I did one of my biggest Cap From Marathon, not knowing at all who you were, where you were making your wine. I had no idea what was Maenad at that point, and your wine ended number 6 out of 65. And I had the chance to have John Daniel Steele at my place in the back, like right there, tasting all the wines with us. And he's like, I know that you're, she's awesome, she's awesome. So anyway, long story short, it was my first time. Now I have 5 wines from you okay, right there in front of us. We're gonna go through all. First and foremost, I would love for you to tell us the story of how Maenad started. Okay, I want to know from when it started in your head all the way to your connection with Mark Pister and Jeff Mood. Please give us some information.
Okay, so I've been working in the wine industry for almost 20 years now. I am the assistant winemaker at Creekside Estate Winery in Jordan. And
Uh-huh.
it was 2020 that Maenads started. And I feel like, that was the prime COVID year. And maybe the only good things that came out of that were people sort of rethinking their life and what they want to do. And I had always had visions of being an entrepreneur and doing something for myself. And this kind of like launched me into that of like, okay, we got to do something. And my husband really encouraged me and said, like, go for it. And of course, it ended up coming back to wine because that's really my passion. And so I decided to start a virtual winery, and we weren't really sure what to call it. And my husband, I came home one day and he said, "Have you ever heard of the Maenads?" And I said, "No." And he said, "I'm not going to say anything more, just look them up." And I'm like, okay. And I looked them up and I felt like I was reading like a biography on my life. And these women were like the female followers of the Greek god of wine, Dionysus. And they were wild. They defied sort of convention of women in that day. And they did their own thing. They probably drank too much. They did ecstatic dance, which is something that I'm really into, and like all of these sort of connections that I just couldn't let go of. And I was like, this is it. This is my brand. And but it also was a muse for how I make wines because I'm very experimental, very low intervention, and doing things sort of my way, not necessarily in a conventional way. And but celebrating that. So it just sort of clicked.
That is such a cool story. So that was 2020. You went for it, but that didn't mean that you had a home at that point, though. Because I mean, this is cool to have an idea. This is cool to brew that in your head, but you need the right opportunity. You need the
Yes.
canvas to be able to paint what's in your head, right? So how did you met
Yeah.
Mark?
I think I technically met him through Jeff Moot. So Jeff worked with me at Creekside for a vintage, and
That's it.
he
That's
was really
right.
great to work with. He's such a great winemaker, such a smart man, and I had kind of told him what was in my head of what I wanted to do. And so he connected me with Mark, and they were basically just in the early stages of launching Drink Collab. And so I had this opportunity. And so I do the winemaking, like most of the initial winemaking at Creekside, and then I finish it basically at Mary Nissen, where Drink Collab is located, to sell it through them. Yeah.
Nice.
There you
But
go. So you're still full time. You're still full time at Creekside.
I am, yeah. So this is like my passion project on the side, my little side hustle. So it keeps me busy, but I love it.
Yeah, for sure. That is awesome though. And like such interesting stuff too. So I mean obviously we were completely blown away by the Cab Franc. Carl's had the Viognier. I'm really excited to try that. I know that's the one we're going to chat even more about for Tasting Thursday. Because what we did, you guys, Tasting Thursday, August 27th, I think is the date, right before the long weekend.
I think so. I mean, there's too
We
many dates in my head right now. So
we're going to have the collab winemakers come on Tasting Thursday, all of them, 7 of them,
yes,
including Yvonne, and talk
Yes.
about a cool story behind at least one of their wines, and then we'll get into tons of other stories, I'm sure. But yeah,
yes.
I'm excited.
So okay. So now you found Jeff. So you talked with Mark, and what did you think of the idea? What did you think of what Mark was putting together at the beginning?
It's kind of brilliant because to otherwise make wines and have a winery, you need millions of dollars, which I can tell you right now, I don't have that. And this opens the doors for people to make wines that are authentic, that are, what they want to do without having to have that crazy investment. And this was just such a great opportunity, and also just like a great group of people to work with. All of the winemakers that are in Drink Collab, I really get along with. And I love it because we're all making different things. Like there's some similarities here and there, but usually we kind of still have our own style and what we're doing. And so to me, this is like the ultimate, almost like aside from the LCBO, to come into a website where it's like, hey, you can order all of these different wines and have your pick, and they're all going to have their own style. And it's not just from one winery. Like it's just so creative and really feeds into that style, and being able to showcase these really small producers that have talent, that are passionate and otherwise wouldn't be able to do something like this.
I mean, I can't agree more with you. Like, I mean, I had the privilege to taste through the whole portfolio this month, and
Yeah.
just to have to taste your Viognier, Jess's Viognier. Okay, these are two completely opposite of the spectrum of Viognier, right?
Yes.
And now we got the Vio Marsan from Julie. There's like you guys are using almost all, and the Vio the Marsan from Corey. Like there's so many different things, but similar, but such with such a different delivery and a different personality. It's
Yeah.
just like Christmas every single day. Like there's so many mini offers that we want to put together right now. Like this, okay, we should just like do an email about Viognier and Marsan, and like there's so. And she looks at me, she's like, "Stop it, stop! I can't handle it anymore."
Just give me more wine. That's it. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's just so cool to see the whole spectrum of style inside of the same incubator of idea. It's just phenomenal. Now, I want to know okay, how would you describe your style of winemaking? Because I know that like from Julie will use Jeff and Mark and uh, Jeff and Mark to help her with the winemaking, but you on your own, you're a winemaker. So you make your
Mhm.
own wine, but you have access to all of the other knowledge around you. How would you describe your winemaking style personally, and how is different from Creekside?
So I would describe my winemaking as low intervention. And to put that in perspective, it basically to me means that less is more. Because every process that you go through with winemaking is technically going to take like a little piece away. And every additive that you put in is technically going to take a piece away. And I'm not against conventional winemaking whatsoever. Like I said, I do both. But this was sort of a means for me to really express wines on their own and sort of get that authentic feel. So all of my wines are wild fermented. All of my wines are unfiltered, unfined, and the ingredients are also declared on the label to be completely transparent. For me, I'm not going to stand on the sword of natural winemaking because that really means different things to different people, and I am going to intervene if I need to, because to me, like my overall goal is to make the best wine possible, and there are moments where you do have to intervene. And so like some of my 2025 wines, I had to do a reinoculation with a cultivated yeast because it just wouldn't finish. um, I'm not going to release a crappy wine just because I don't want to add anything. So I call it low intervention in that I'm only intervening where necessary and otherwise just letting the wine speak for itself. I generally also do late sulfur additions, which means that for most of the wine's life, it doesn't see sulfur until the very end, like right before bottling, and then even then, it's quite minimal. And that also expresses wine quite a bit differently, which has been quite a journey for me to see that process because I've made wines a certain way, and I always get to experiment a lot at Creekside too. So I've seen the gamut working there, but it's really interesting to see the effects, like when you take away everything and you just are bare bones winemaking. You've really got nothing to hide, or what should I say? You can't hide anything. So it's got to be good from the start. You have to start with good grapes, and so all of this sort of plays into our winemaking mantra.
I love that. And it's so true. I mean, you're making wine in such small quantities. It's not like, oh, we can just blend these 10 barrels into something else. And what you said about not um, being afraid to intervene, I love that. It
Yeah.
reminds me of Richard
Yeah.
Silva,
Yeah.
who basically said, low intervention, my butt, because sometimes you have to intervene or it'll turn into
Yeah,
freaking vinegar or something, right? So,
yeah,
And because I'm not in the business of making vinegar, so I don't give a shit how you want to call it. I'm going to do my best to preserve what I've been working so hard to put an amazing product to market, right? So,
back when I was
yeah,
super naive and I was like, oh, it smells so nice, low intervention. And then he's like, low intervention, my ass. You have to do what it needs.
yeah.
no,
And like for me, most of the time, like that isn't very much. However, like there's this thought, I think, that natural or low intervention winemaking is lazy winemaking. And I would say that when you're doing it right, it's the opposite of that. And so when you're being proactive to try and mitigate any bad things from happening, it's a lot of work. And paying attention, and probably more attention than you would have to a regular wine, um, it's a lot more. You're doing less processes and less additives and that sort of thing. But if you don't pay attention, it it can easily switch over to garbage in a second. And
You've done an amazing job, sir.
I really wanted to come out and make low intervention wines that were clean and delicious, and something that even the average winemaker would thoroughly enjoy.
okay. So when you do your winemaking, when you do your job at Creekside, and before that, after that, is there ever a grape varietal that you're always more in tune with, or is it something that you say like, "God, I have a very weak, a soft spot for this grape varietal, or that's the grape varietal right now that I like to work with a lot." Take us into your love affair for the grapes that you're working with.
Yeah, so I mean, it's always hard to choose like a favorite child, but it's Chardonnay. I love Chardonnay, and I think because it is a winemaker's grape, and you can make so many different sort of variations on Chardonnay, and have so many decisions along the way about like what you do with it, and it's just fascinating to me. And one of my favorite things about wine is texture. And Chardonnay is one of those grapes that really expresses texture very, very well. And so I've always been drawn to that. I would say for reds, like obviously, I think I'm very drawn to Cabernet Franc. And I think it's just such a staple variety for Niagara, and I've loved working with it. And a lot of my portfolio, like I don't necessarily stick to a strict portfolio, and that was part of my experimentation. We're saying like we're not necessarily going to specialize in this, or this. We're just going to take what we find that year, and it gives me like more free creative expression to make what I want in that given year. But that said, I have always sort of gone back to Chardonnay, and I've always gone back to Cabernet Franc as kind of staples within my portfolio.
Now you floored me with your answer, okay? You put me down on my ass. I was not expecting that at all because what I have from you from Chardonnay, you're the only skin contact Chardonnay that I had probably in the last 5 years. That's the first time, the only time. And so you have all of these opportunity, all of these different styles on that spectrum from Brut Nature, blah, 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 like uh, on oak, oaky, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and you choose skin contact. This
Yes.
is This is mind-boggling. Okay, here, this is the color.
I mean,
This,
it's been open a little while.
but still, tell me, okay, why, how, and like tell me the process because hey, I love it. Okay, I love that you had the courage to go that route when like you're the only one for God's sake to do that. It's freaking crazy. I love it. Tell me why you choose skin contact for your expression of Chardonnay, and it's 2021 vintage.
Yeah. So I had a 2020 vintage as well. It's since sold out, but this was, I'm going to say, my original baby. Like, this is what I started with, and this was what I was really passionate about. I love orange wines. And in that process of drinking orange wines, I've also had a lot of bad orange wines, or disappointing, I should say, I guess. I wanted to make an orange wine that was texturally driven because, like I said, that's my favorite part of wine, I think, in general, especially Chardonnay. And I wanted to play with those tannins, but do it, or at least attempt to do it, in a way that the tannins were approachable. So the tannins weren't too harsh. I was balancing that out with doing malolactic fermentation. I aged this wine for 7 months in barrel as well, which I think, like, you need to, just like a red wine, you need to give an orange wine some time to sort of sort itself out. Let those tannins settle, let things round out a little bit, and so I wanted it to be like, initially you get the tannin and then a rounder finish coming from the malolactic fermentation and the barrel aging and all of that coming together, and a little bit of lees stirring here and there. But like, this wine was meant to be a play on textures, which was, again, my favorite part of wine, my favorite part of Chardonnay. And making an orange wine, like, that is the ultimate texture project, right? Like, you really get to play with that.
And so now your barrel, you said 9 months in barrel?
I think it was like 7 months.
7 months. Okay. And
Yeah.
neutral?
Yes, older
Neutral?
oak. So not getting much flavor, but you're still getting
Yeah.
the
The
texture and the
texture, right?
character. Yep. Yeah, it really makes
Because
a
it's like
difference.
this is like getting your head into a gigantic bowl of orange marmalade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like there's some apricot, but there's also some zing of citrus coming up. There's herbaceousness. There's everything. Like I feel like if I'm in the ring with Mike Tyson here and I'm getting punched in a good way, in a fun way. Uh, I feel like because that's what I'm expecting in an orange wine. I feel like sometimes I'm gonna get attacked, like different ways. But in the
Yeah.
meantime, it's just soft and silky. This is the weirdest feeling. That is
Yeah.
really like definitely it's such a bag of surprise. Like I don't know, it's like Halloween and you come back with your gigantic bag and you just like, okay, what I'm gonna get in this one. Um I love it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's great. Like, I haven't had a ton of skin fermented wines in general, and I don't think I've ever had a Chardonnay skin fermented Chardonnay. So I think it's amazing.
I
It's
mean,
so different and it's
that's
well done. Like, it's really nice. I've
Thank
had
you.
two out of the, let's say, 10 orange wines that I've had. I would only say I really enjoyed like maybe three, just because sometimes they're a little out there. They're a
I
little, they're
think
a little
I think it
nerd.
became a trend, right? And so a lot of people sort of jumped on the bandwagon, but I feel like it wasn't necessarily with a full thought process, and not everyone, obviously. I just mean, like, if you're jumping on it for the trend and you're just like, hey, we're going to do this, and not really thinking about how you're going to do this or how it's going to turn out, then it might not turn out very well. And this was like my original sort of wine that I went with when I first started, and it was really what I wanted to do, and I put like all of my heart and soul into this wine because I was so passionate about it.
This is definitely a soulful wine. There's so much personality in there. It's so much. I mean,
And there's a beautiful, like, it is like crisp in a way, very, very like precise in a way, I feel. So I don't know.
the
I'm
precision.
not the wine person here. I just drink the wine. But this is the wine I would drink for sure.
I love that. That's the best part of the job.
This is one of the hardest wine I had to score and define in a sense because my brain went to so many different places, and that's why I wanted to
Yeah.
talk to you to go to the roots of your idea. And now it makes so much sense when you're giving me the technical details with the 7 months in barrel and the whole thing. The puzzle, the pieces are coming together. But yeah, this is in terms of being interesting, being different, but not fucked up. This is a 95 points in a sense, right? Because sometimes you go like off, like things go sideways and it's too weird to me. No, it's not. It hasn't crossed the too weird. It's still into
Yeah.
these parameter, but very different for Chardonnay nerds like I am. And I'm talking to a lot of Carl's Wine Club members right now, and I know you know who you are out there, my bunch of nerdies. Okay, my Chardonnay brothers out there, they know who they are. This is a try me right fucking now. Okay, try me. I think it's just so much fun.
And
Like,
surprise someone you know that, maybe has never had an orange wine before. Surprise them with this.
and I had a feeling that we're gonna spend after show on that wine. I knew it's gonna happen. I knew it's gonna
But
happen.
I'm dying to get to the others because,
Okay.
again, stuff I've never seen before. Ted Franck, I had to jump.
Yes.
I did the thing they do in Burgundy, we found out, where they like to have their red wine first to open up the palate for the whites.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the PCAP.
I did
You
that.
give us. You don't want to classify that as a wine that you mentioned on the opening of the show.
Yeah.
First and foremost, when I get my nose in that glass, this is truly Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah. And I
It
think
is
like
Sauv Blanc on the nose.
And it's beautiful. Like, it's so beautiful.
So, why did you make a piquette?
so
And what was the goal? And I'm not because I don't like a lot of piquette out there, to be honest with you.
yeah,
I don't.
I've heard
This
that too.
is fun. I love that. I really like that. That I would sit out there on my patio when I don't need internet, right? Because internet connection. No, I'm just joking.
We have
Yeah.
trouble with internet on the
Just sit out there, and I would enjoy piquette. That piquette, I enjoy that. So
It's what, like 4.5%. So
five
it's
and a half.
5.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very different in that way, isn't it? So
Yeah. So I
was
just wanted
asking what was the thought process.
yes.
I wanted to make a fun, sort of easy drinking beverage with this. And I was really sort of fascinated by the piquette style, which was, I think, kind of peaking or coming out a little bit when I started Maenad. And so I was like, I gotta try this. And I chose Sauvignon Blanc specifically because of the flavor profile that you get from that and incorporating like that citrus, that herbaceousness, and a lot of people tell me they get peach notes in this beverage.
You're right. Yes, on the nose. The nose is spectacular. Holy cow.
And when I describe it to people, like others tell me as well that it's almost more similar to beer than it is to wine, or maybe even like an alcoholic tea or verging into that kombucha sort of style of things. Although it's not quite like it's not vinegary, but it is like an
Right
infused sort
acid.
of beverage.
Right acid.
Yeah. And I will tell you right now, like this is my uh, cheapest beverage that I make, and this is the hardest beverage that I make. And part of that is that it's only 5.5% alcohol, and I'm doing wild fermentation. Like you were leaving the doors open to all kinds of stuff that could happen, like microbially, right? So it's really stressful. And to get, like, for me, the important part was getting the concentration in it and having it not be a watered down wine. I wanted real concentration and flavor. And so that means minimal water addition. And so my punch downs are like trying to punch down a cement brick. And every year that I've made this, I'm like, my God, why do I do this? But I love the beverage. And my husband, like, this is his, like, as soon as I'm done cutting the grass, he's popping open some piquette and sitting down to relax. And, I just love doing something that's not a wine, that's a different style, and really, again, putting my whole heart and soul and I don't know, strength and biceps and everything into this. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I like that, to be honest. I really like that. I not like I enjoy it. It's just enjoyable.
Yeah.
What's the price point on the piquette?
It is 14.95. So like a great easy drinking, middle of the week kind of beverage, right? Like easy to say yes
Post
to.
mowing the grass. I love that. Post mowing the or in the
Yeah.
middle, like in between, like in the middle. Like when you take a break in the middle.
Yeah. Or like to me it's like the day drinking wine, right? Because we all love to day drink, but it's only 5.5%. So like I don't know, girl math, it's like free alcohol. Like you don't have to worry about it. It's fine. Totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys would be trouble together. Okay, I have to cut that short because
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so that's the piquette, the 5.5 free alcohol piquette.
It's like nothing. Nothing.
You can have multiple bottles and it's
Yeah,
like the same thing as one. Like,
that's it, right?
yeah.
That's it. Now I want to talk about the pet nat here. It's the Vidal co-fermented with a Concord grape.
Yeah.
Which
And
again, I've never seen before. And I taste it and it's really nice.
it is. I usually don't score things with infused, but this is just too enjoyable. I give it a 90 point. Okay,
Thank
I
you.
use this when I like to put on the bottle, and I grabbed like this. I'm like, wow, this is fun. This is really cool. The tarragon doesn't throw everything off. I
No.
tasted some stuff infused, and that's the only thing I taste. It's the infusion.
Hmm.
Yeah, not for me. Not for me. This
Yeah.
is just subtle. A little subtle, little herbaceousness who makes me think. I thought it was really fun. So take me through the process of your pet nat here because I love the bubbles. I'm a sucker for good bubbly, and this is really hit the spot to me. I really enjoyed that and the price point.
Yeah. So I have made some ciders for Creekside in the past, and I've infused different fruits and botanicals. And I thought, why can't I do this with wine? And I chose Vidal because as the base for it, because Vidal is a very neutral grape. I don't feel like I'm like ruining something by adding anything to it. It's just very like middle of the line. Nice tree fruit, kind of basic, I guess. But so this is the third pet nat that I've done. I've previously done a blueberry sage one and a peach one with wild sumac. And
Oh,
this was my third one. So this is Concord grapes and tarragon. And I wanted those flavors to be, first of all, natural. So, like, this is actual herbs, actual fruit being added to the ferment. And I wanted it to be a nuance. I didn't want it to take over the entire wine. I wanted it to kind of play with everything else. And so that's always been my goal. And it's difficult when you're working with herbs because you have to kind of see how they're going to extract into the wine. And as the alcohol increases with the ferment, you're also going to get sort of more extraction from the herbs at that point. So you have to kind of like think down the road, how is this going to work out? And it's difficult. And then pet nat, you have to bottle it at the exact right moment during
That's a
fermentation
real pain in the
to
ass right there,
get
right?
it. Yeah. And also do it so that it doesn't explode, which is in the past, even I have made some pet nats that were a little bit gushing. And but I've like got it down to a science, and I've figured out a way to make pet nat without that. And so to me, this is like the brunch wine. Like instead of a mimosa, because you don't have to mix it with anything, all of those other flavors are there. It's bubbly, it's fun. And that's what I wanted it to be, right? Like you don't have to overthink of it, but it's kind of like this artisanal style of natural bubbly, if you will.
Hey, so the tarragon. Now take me through the technical process for a second. Do you throw just a hunk of tarragon, of fresh herb into the tank? You close it. Do you boil it and make a syrup with it?
Yeah, I'm curious.
So I know there's a ton of people out there is like they don't.
How does this
I
work?
can't ask that. I'm going to sound stupid. I need to know. Take us to the technical process. How you do it?
So it's in this case for the tarragon, very simple. I chuck it in the tank. That's it. Like I'm taking a
What's
big sprig
tarragon?
of tarragon and putting it in. And I would usually taste it after a few
Yeah.
days and kind of see how it's extracting. And I can add more if I want. I always go with um, the mentality of I can add more, but you can't take it away. So I will start small, and then after a few days, I might add more, and I might not. But it's literally just an entire sprig of herbs being chucked in the tank. And for the Concord grapes, that was my kids helped me destem the Concord grapes, and because they're ready before the Vidal is ready, we had to freeze it. But so we had to destem all of the berries, and I have pictures of my kids helping me, which is such a great memory. Because I think they also ate like a good amount of them too. But we got to
Right.
destem it all into buckets, and then we put it into a deep freezer for like a month or so until the Vidal was ready. And that is
That is
literally
so
whole
cool.
grapes just going into the ferment.
Fascinating. And this is what feels very wholesome to me. It's like more girl math. There's three ingredients: Vidal grapes, Concord grapes, and tarragon. And literally, like no sulfites added either, right?
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
this is something you have to consume fairly soon, right? You don't want to cellar this for multiple years necessarily, do you?
You know what? First of all, like you don't have to cellar it. I don't necessarily think that it will uh
Get better,
like
Yeah,
you don't
right?
yeah, like you don't need to cellar it.
you don't
However,
want to
I
necessarily,
have
right?
cellared things that like that, like my other vintages of Pet Nat, and they cellar quite well. And like this has been the fascinating part of my process, because even that skin fermented Chardonnay that you tried from 2021, zero sulfites, none added ever. And I think sometimes like we get very methodical about winemaking and we forget that there are actually like a lot of natural compounds in the wines
Preservative, right?
that protect
Natural
them.
preservative.
Yeah, so for the pet nat, you have carbon dioxide. And so yeah, it is still going to age, and it's to me like it doesn't need to be aged, but you also don't have to drink it right away. And the Chardonnay, like I'm waiting for that to continue, because I'm still drinking the 2020 as well, and like that ages quite well, and zero sulfates, like because it has that natural tannin and it was clean going into bottle, it doesn't need it. And it's also fascinating to watch the aging process on these wines too.
You are so right because I just did a double take. I would just tasted this and I was like, oh, it's so fresh, it's so crisp, it's really nice. And then I'm like, 2022?
Yeah,
That's 4 years ago.
yeah.
That's
It,
wild.
yeah. It really
I
like
wasn't expecting that.
I didn't even compute on that
Yeah,
part.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
I didn't
expecting
compute.
that. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is probably from last summer.
25. It's a 25 or
No,
24.
2022. I had no idea. Wow,
yeah,
that ages that well. That's fantastic. Wow.
yeah,
Really
yeah.
cool. Really cool.
Okay, now let's go.
I don't normally love Cap Franc, Yvonne. This is like Daryl and I, if he's on, we share this. It was never my favorite grape from the beginning. I also don't like green peppers on my pizza, so maybe I don't know. But this Cap Franc that you made, that he gave 93 points to, I freaking love it. This is
Okay.
like
Thank
a
you so
Mira Cap Franc.
much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so this is so very different than 95, 98% of the Cap Franc out there. I believe that this is stainless steel Cap Franc.
Is it?
So just purity, it is it's purity of the grape, plain and simple, well made, harvested at the proper bricks.
Turns
And
out barrels
oh,
for 18 months though.
oh, that's not the one. Okay,
I'm
there you go.
doing my oats.
There you go. Me
Yeah.
too. I was just okay. Scrap that. Pause. Stop. Okay, pull that out. Let's start all over again. So,
No, I totally get where you're coming from though, because it's a very true expression of the grape. There's not, so it is done in barrel, and actually one of those barrels was new as well, which is surprising given the final wine. But it's
okay, what
such
I'm
a
gonna
pure
do is okay,
expression of it.
I didn't try it. Okay, since I opened it 2 years ago. Okay, and
Yeah.
I probably just mix it up with another wine in the lineup, probably. But I'm sure if I taste it now, I will taste the oak definitely. But yeah, so I know for a fact that that vintage I give it a 93 points. So I clearly really liked it. So style of Cap Franc, where it's Lincoln Lake Shore, so is it Grimsby Hillside?
It is, yeah. So I take a lot of fruit from that vineyard, and they're really great growers. They have a premium site. They're really invested in sustainability and growing things properly and growing things for the quality of the wine, which is what I really appreciate about them. And they just have this really special vineyard. And this is from a block that is some younger vines because they have two different blocks of Cabernet Franc. Um, and the fruit expression on it is just wild, like how this turned out. It's both like a tannic and structured Cabernet Franc while being also this very fresh and juicy and fruity and vibrant style as well. Like it's alive. You can feel it.
It is truly special. It is
I
awesome.
like my wine with tannin. All our members know I've been talking about it for 6 years. The tannin is still right there. The tannin are soft though. They're
Yeah.
not grainy. They're not attacking. They're kind of progressive. They're very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, they kind of, I find, like build up over time. Like if you're drinking a
Yeah,
lot of it.
progressive. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Daryl's just joining right now. Thanks for joining because you heard your name.
I was talking about you
We're just mentioning Cap Franc and you're showing off. See? There you go.
I was saying that, like Daryl, I'm not a hugest fan of Cab Franc, but I
But
do like this one.
yeah, so the juice, this is juicy. That's
Yeah.
how I describe that. It's juicy, it's fun, it's not pretentious, but the tannin just bring the serious. I like the mid palate. The mid palate is full, really full, really full on the mid palate. There's a beautiful frame of acidity also in there.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
And I think that's like really just distinctive of this. And it was cool too because Mark Pistor made a wine for Fogelar from the same block. We picked it the same day. and just two different winemaking methods, and both of them are very good. Like I really enjoy his as well, but it's really cool to see because the wines are kind of completely different, you know? Like there's
So you're
some
telling me,
similarities from the vineyard, but
so this is same block as Mark's Grimsby Hillside Fogalar?
yeah, yeah. Well, I want to make I check with him on the vintage and everything, but like the same vintage, so 2020 2023, we both picked on the same day and we both made wines from it, but very distinctly different wines, which is really cool.
Can you go back in our notes and tell me what did I give for scores for the Grimsby Hillside Mark? I think, with all due respect that I have for Mark, I really, really like what he does. I think I scored yours higher than Mark.
Yeah, I'll
I
tell you
don't
what.
want to compare. I feel bad. Like I didn't mean it that way. I just meant like it's
Me neither.
it's
I
just a
tasted
cool
yours.
comparison.
That is awesome. That,
Because
hey, you know what?
he's doing some really cool stuff with Cabernet Franc, and I
Oh
appreciate
my
his style
God, I
too.
know this is not. I think this is not enough. I'm joking in the whole thing because I have the utmost respect for Mark. What he does, his program is outstanding. I still don't understand how he released his Cap Franc at 14.95. His
Yeah, yeah.
entry level white label. It's mind boggling, and how he works with single vineyard for his Riesling and Cap Franc. No, no, no. It's just kind of funny that now I'm realizing, and I never, never, never score a wine comparing like producer to producer. I don't do that. And but that's like now I'm just realizing you're telling me, I'm like, holy shit, wait a second. Because I believe that I give 92 plus to Mark Grimsby. And
Okay, so if we're talking 23,
yeah,
Picon Vineyard?
no,
No.
no, Grimsby Hillside.
But I don't think.
Maybe I didn't taste this one. There you go.
Okay,
Woo!
yeah.
Okay,
This is a stunning Cabernet Franc, Yvonne. It's just very different.
Yeah.
I'm just, it is very different. What do you do on the winemaking side to make that wine so juicy? It's just very different.
So so part of it maybe is that it came in, I feel like early November or late October, and at that time of year it's quite cold, so the juice was like 10 degrees Celsius, and I'm trying to do a wild ferment, right? So, and I don't have any means to heat this up aside from like ambient heating. And so it had like a 10-day cold soak. And I mixed it every day to make sure that I didn't get like volatile acidity happening or bad microbial stuff. And I was about to give up. I was like, okay, we're going to have to inoculate this. And it finally took off. And so I think part of the concentration comes from that cold soak, like a very extended cold soak, and then the wild ferment, and just kind of letting it be, like just letting it be its own thing. So you get the structure from that process, and also the oak aging and everything. But I find the wild ferments have this very like fruit forward expression,
Yeah.
and juiciness to them.
I was almost thinking, are you doing carbonic maceration or something like that? Because it's that super fruity and soft texture. And I see, like, I feel the tannin building up and being, like, as I mentioned, like progressive. Yeah, very unique style. And yes, we just found the Fogalar 23 Grimsby Hillside in my note. We just did.
92 plus.
So I beat him just by a hair.
That's the wild ferment. That's the wild ferment.
Yes.
Or maybe the extra cold soak. Okay,
Yes.
let's put it that way. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, and to me, like that edge comes from the uniqueness. It's very different. Very different. Like So many, and that's why I remember, like during the Cap Franc Marathon, like you were very different than all of the others. So yeah, I love that. This is the standout, the big standout of the whole lineup, to my opinion, in terms of pure score, because all of the wines are quite a standout for uniqueness. Let's put it that way.
Sure,
But this
yeah.
one, in terms of pure score, boom, 93 points. That's the rock star of the whole lineup. Wow, that is so much fun. Yvonne, I mean,
Sorry, did we talk about the
no,
Viognier?
you
Because
switch on the red. So,
I got so excited about the red. But like I told you, in Burgundy, this was the norm. It was like you must warm
Hmm.
up your palate with the reds, guys, so we can have
because the white is so
the white.
powerful.
So
And it's
and Viognier,
Yeah.
I mean, it's that kind of white. It's a
I
nice big white.
I know that my business partner is in a good mood when there's that left in the glass and she pours more. I know that she's in a really good mood. So,
Okay, I'm gonna take
yeah,
after her because I have the same bottle open. So I'm gonna have some more
that's it.
Viognier.
Twins.
Yeah, you guys are. I got a score on it, 91 plus, 91 plus on the score side here. Um,
Love that.
it's crisp, but there's texture. There's the classic pear, tropic, like ripe orchard fruit, I would say. It's more apricot and pear. I don't see too much of super tropical fruit. It's not heavy. You have preserved the acid beautifully, which is sometimes tricky with Viognier. And I love the spice, the beautiful extraction of spice on the back end.
And interesting, it says acacia wood punting.
That's where I
Yeah,
want to go with.
That's interesting.
So tell me
yeah.
more. So that's your selection of wood is acacia for the Viognier only.
For the Viognier only, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
acacia wood is really interesting to work with because it's not at all like oak. Um, it doesn't really give much flavor to the wine, like oak would impart a flavor to the wine, but it adds this textural component, and I find that it kind of like puts the fruit up on a pedestal. So for like Viognier in particular, this has worked really well for me. And I feel like it was just the right vessel because, with Viognier, it's so fruity and aromatic and texturally driven. So it's a punch-in barrel. It's still adding to the texture for sure, for sure. But it's not taking away from the flavor. And in fact, it's only just like lifting it up. And so this just
keeps
worked
coming
really
on the
well for
nose.
me. And the grapes again are from the Grimsby Hillside Vineyard. And this particular block, this Viognier, was grown organically as well.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I feel like with Viognier, like I have tasted some examples of Viognier where it can go a little oilier, it can go a little more bitter, but this is so well rounded. I love that.
Yeah, I think you got it with well-rounded. Like there's a balance between the acid and the fruit, which is, to my opinion, and very, very important, and nailed it on the textural side, not overdone it. So 91 plus, love that Viognier. And I mentioned something. I was with an interview, I think, like a couple weeks ago. There's two great varietals in Ontario right now that really starting to pick up. It's Viognier and Sauvignon Blanc. I think
Hmm.
like I'm tasting a lot, much more great Sauvignon Blanc, and Viognier is standing out to me. Like I remember last year tasting Bellaterra Viognier at great price point, and I'm like, wow, this is freaking awesome. And I'm just like getting more curious and more getting, and I'm realizing, wow, a lot of wineries, a lot of winemakers are adding Viognier in their portfolio, and geez, they are good. So there's good pocket of Viognier. Lots on the Niagara on the Lake. I like the Bosque Vineyard,
Yep.
but also Grimsby side got some cool stuff going on. I know that Black Bank Hill, I've planted Viognier as well, is doing some cool stuff with Viognier. So yeah, a lot more Viognier coming up. Um, Wow, we have passed the 1 hour mark.
Wow, maybe like, oh, it's way later there than here. I mean, it's only here. Mike has an interesting comment. I like seeing more and more Viognier coming out of Niagara. Well, you know what? Wasn't it with you, Mike, that we were talking about on one of these lives about the Rhone, or was it the Loire?
well, Viognier is wrong.
Yeah, but we were like, we should do a Carl's Wine Club trip to
Oh, yeah, to
the
Rhone Valley. Yeah,
Rhone.
yeah.
And I gotta tell you, we found amazing Viogniers now from both sides of the country. More and more Marsanne, more and more Roussanne.
Yeah, we'll be well stocked to take
That's our deal, Yvonne. We go over to these places. That's what we started this last June, last month. We went with members, we went with winemakers to Burgundy. We brought like
60 bottles of Chardonnay with us, Canadian Chardonnay, to
and Pinot
Burgundy.
Noir.
So
Amazing.
Side by side with those wines. And we met Canadians who are in the wine industry down there, and they showed us around, and it was spectacular because our wines are right there, Yvonne. They are right at the
Yep.
table, and they're like a quarter of the price.
Exactly. Exactly. It's such a savings.
how much is your Viognier?
$32.95. And like if you look at like Condrieu and that sort of thing, you're never going to find one for that price. Never.
Anything is under $80. There's nothing under $80.
Yeah.
Nothing. And it's 80 euros, not dollars. So
That's like
Yeah.
5,000
Yeah.
So yeah, wow, what a great time! I'm super thrilled. We're gonna put the order sheet together, and we're gonna post that later. I would say probably tomorrow morning, and hopefully we can keep going on the good run that we have with the collab group. Yvonne, last question for you: when you don't drink your own wine, is there a one of the favorite that you have that you say like, hey, I like drinking the Horseshoe Riesling is one of my go-to at home. Is there something you have like go-to?
Well, I have that wine in my wine fridge at the moment. I'm also a big fan of Divergence. I drink a lot of Jeff's wine. Malabar
Who's not a big fan of Jeff?
right.
Eh?
The Liebling girls have like the best value wines out there, I think. And Malabar I go to a lot.
I can't believe that they sell that Sauvignon Blanc for $22. I just can't fucking believe it.
Yeah, and Battersea too. She makes some really textural, like rich
The
whites.
Vivo for $20. That
Yeah,
is
crazy.
so cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love Julie. She's a gem.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're gifted here in Niagara. I mean, certainly I am because I can get these like at the drop of a hat. But it's also like I find more and more I'm choosing Ontario over international wines, simply because there's so much more value in it, in that you can get the quality that you would get from overseas somewhere, but it's going to be like half the price. And, you know, that's pretty worthwhile. That's a cool thing. I mean, I have wines from all over the world in my cellar, but lately I'd say my go-tos are Ontario wines, honestly.
That's so true, Yvonne. And anyone who says, oh, Canadian wines are overpriced, you're either not comparing apples to apples or you don't know where to look.
Yeah, and I
And
should
will
say
tell you
Canadian
guys,
wines because I drink wines from BC and Nova Scotia as well too, and like they're all just such gems, truly.
Absolutely.
fantastic,
Yeah. So
fantastic.
we'll keep you in mind to take you with us in the Rhone Valley when we finalize the trip to the Rhone Valley.
I'm so there. I'm so ready.
How
Pardon?
old are your children? What's that?
Yeah, I have two kids. My daughter is 10 and my son is 8. So I have that on top of winemaking.
That's perfect.
So we have a 9 and 11-year-old. So
Oh, they'll get along great.
We
Yeah.
got the kids. They can have their own itinerary. They went golfing, you know, like they do stuff, and we can have ours. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
There you go.
Sure.
There you go.
Love it.
Yvonne, that was an amazing chat. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much. And we'll be in touch in the next couple of days. Hopefully, the sales are coming in like crazy, and people will enjoy the Maenad wines as much as we do. And we'll go from there.
And hopefully you guys get to crack some of these bottles before the August 27th event, Tasting Thursday with Yvonne, with 6 other amazing winemaking uh, um, people. Like sometimes it's
Yep.
one winemaker, sometimes it's multiple people behind a brand. So the whole crew is going to be on with us on Zoom
That's going to be a heck of a party that night. Holy
August
smokes.
Oh
27th.
yeah.
To like open some wines, bring some friends over, introduce them to Canadian wine if they haven't had much before. And you listen to the winemakers chat for an hour or so, and after that, it's a
party.
call.
It's a party.
We can ask all sorts of questions. Whoever doesn't want to stay on for that part doesn't have to, but it's a lot of fun.
Yvonne, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank
We'll
you.
It was great to meet you. Thank
You
you.
too. So great to chat with you tonight. Have a great night.
Thank you. It was
Have a
awesome.
great night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Woohoo!
What a great interview. Holy smokes. I like her a lot. That was so much fun. So much fun. And the wines are also so much fun.
Really
Right?
fantastic.
So much fun. I never thought that I would rate 90 points of wine with herbs in it.
I don't think you've ever scored a wine
No.
with herbs in it.
No. No.
But
It's just fun.
clearly, Yvonne has great taste.
I mean, it's well made and it's good. I freaking enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
I think you were a little bit biased because the first one of her wines that we had was the Cat Franc, and it was amongst 60 something bottles.
And I finished it is
And it was number
number
6.
six. So,
So
and I didn't know.
we're
So
dealing with someone who
has
is
talent.
very talented.
Yeah.
And works for a larger winery. So obviously something that she's been doing for 20 years. So this isn't like someone who just picked this up and
Yeah.
you know. So this is truly a passion project, and I think that's what's so special about all the wines we're featuring this month.
I just want to re-highlight this, okay? Because there's been too much bad rap on oaky Chardonnay. Okay.
I love
We
it.
love oak, and this is giving me all the oak I want. Okay, look at the score, 93 plus. This $35 shard filled my bucket of happiness big fucking time. Oh man, that I love the Corey Mews. Sempre Mio Chardonnay, that 2024 is bang on. I really, really, really love
And we
that.
haven't even officially released it to the club, and he set aside 12 bottles of Primo
Of the Primo
Chardonnay, which is 50, but is still a great value at that price point.
94 points.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. This is the Primo Mio. There was 9 barrel of the Chardonnay and one really stand out, but this one is from the 23 vintage. And hearing the story, we have the story when we were live with him, but one barrel of the 23, which is an outstanding vintage for Chardonnay in Ontario, one barrel stood out among all of the 9 that he had. And he was not planning to do a reserve wine. And he was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's just this barrel is just too unique. Let's barrel it to get just
bottle it separately.
bottle it separately. And yeah, that 23 Primo Mio, 94 points. Love it. Love it. So 2 shards for Corey Mio, 93 plus, 94.
Yeah. So the Primo, there were only 12 bottles, and
Daryl snagged three already. So there's only
9.
9 bottles of
going
the
out
Primo.
tomorrow. Although if you go on any of the collab links we've sent out so far, you will see that on
These
the
2, yeah.
So you can get yours early before.
Yeah, and working on 2 other wineries right now. I'm working on Nostalgia, which
we will be there live next Wednesday night with live music, with food, with wine, with the winemaker. So doing Wine Wednesday live from the winery. So if you're in the South Okanagan next Wednesday, you've got to stop by Nostalgia.
Yeah,
so great.
There's going to be a mini vertical of Cap Sauv, some gold medal Syrah, gold medal Meritage. They have some Petit Verdot Malbec. fantastic.
And a great price point.
Great price point. So that's going to be fun. It's coming up in a week. And also, probably one of the rock star of this year, we're going to do Trail Estate, but with a ton of library wine and very tiny, tiny, tiny production. Heavy on Chardonnay. And I'm working on that right now, and it's going to be a lot of fun too. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up. This is the end. We're another week of another 4 days, 5 days of collab wines. So many different cool things that you can add to your order already. And yeah, we'll go from there. Thank you so much, all of you. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for stopping by.
That I tasted and like a tarragon wine, but
Yes.
hey,
It's really good.
Yeah, really good.
And a
Really good.
piquette. Our first, maybe second, because I do like the piquette from Black Market.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
Second or third, like, piquette that we have loved.
And skin contact Chardonnay.
Well made.
Well made.
Gutsy.
Gutsy. Ballsy.
But I think that's what Maenad is all about. It's all about being a little bit unconventional, but really well made.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
check your inboxes tonight, guys.
Tomorrow.
No, for this. This is just went out.
Yes.
Our first ever wine and golf day. And guess what? I do golf, for the record. But I decided for those of you that don't golf, on that day, I'm going to do something equally, if not even more exciting in terms of brunching to the highest gourmet brunching level.
Yes.
And whining while they're golfing. So there's two options on September 20th.
Yep.
And on September 19th, we are doing Okanagan Falls. So if you're into Burgundian varietals like Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, September 19th and 20th, and the 18th for a free and fun barbecue at our place with lots of wine.
Lots of wine.
18th to 20th, that is where you want to be in Canada if you like Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. It is the Okanagan. And Mike's already coming, Jen's coming, Maenads coming. There's a whole crew of members coming that weekend. So that just went out. And if you're into wine, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, why? Because we're also touring. So that's my AI rendition of the brunching and wine day.
I like that there's snow behind you.
I know, right? And then this is, our barbecue night. We're gonna have a chef over to
but
help us with that.
For the golfing, we're gonna be at the Summerlin Golfing Country Club. And they're really excited to have us. So we're gonna golf at Summerlin Golfing Country Club, where our kids are golfing. I like the track a lot, and there's going to be, and after that, we're going to go probably, we're going to stream Summerland all day long. I won't reveal everything, but contact us if you want to golf with us on September 20th.
Absolutely. Because there are some up and coming places in Canada for Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. You've heard us talk about a lot of them. Okanagan Falls, where we're touring on the 19th, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing world-class Pinot Noir and Chardonnay from there, but also Summerland. And Summerland has 3 subgeographical indicators.
Yep, Summerland Bench, Summerland Lakeshore, and Summerland Valleys.
And the valleys, I mean, they just released a Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
That Jim Suckling, on his first ever visit to the Okanagan, gave 94 points to. But guess who gave it 94 points
2 years ago?
This guy.
Yeah.
Also 94 points.
Solvero 2022. I rated that one long ago when Suckling showed up, and he rated 94 points. Just my score that I did.
Yeah.
I remember tasting that at our kitchen table with Dylan and Canal.
Yeah.
And they were blown away.
Yeah.
So thanks, James Suckling, to validate my.
Yeah, so Mike, let me just make sure that the 27th of August is actually a Thursday. Yes, it is. Thursday, the 27th of August. Yes, so we'll set up a Facebook event so that you get the reminders. But the 27th of August, it's a Zoom tasting Thursday with all the collab winemakers. They're all confirmed to be on Zoom with us live and talking about at least one of the coolest stories behind one of their wines. So, I mean, Yvonne's going to be talking more about the Viognier.
Yeah. And I think Jeff will probably talk about, I believe it's the Chardonnay.
I will post the list of
Yeah.
what each winemaker is going to have open
Yeah.
in case you want to open the same bottle that you're curious about and then, like,
Yeah.
you know, grill the winemaker while there's.
So lots of fun. One more week or a few more days of collab. Now that's Yvonne with Maenad wines. Super fun. So, yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Soon. Have a great night.
Wednesday night. We have lots of wine to taste. Woo-hoo.
Cheers.